All right, we'll get started. And if anyone else joins in later, they can catch up. Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us on our second webinar around the order dashboard. Appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. And as I've mentioned previously, if there's anything else you would like us to cover, would love to hear what's most relevant to you guys so that these sessions are beneficial to you. Quick note that the session is recorded. So if there's anything you want to go over later, you can, and if needed, you can share with your team. In terms of the format of this one, so I will be talking about things that we noticed while doing customer engagement, why this feature was created, how we categorize the challenges that users faced. We'll then look at how the order dashboard can help with these issues and see an actual live demo. We'll then cover the benefits and where we're heading next with Order Dashboard and finish with Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, please write them down as we go and we can discuss them later. Before I jump in, again, just a reminder that these features that we have developed, it's all due to client engagement. And it's a great example of how that is such a critical part of our process as it helps us deliver the solutions that have the most impact for you guys. So getting on to it, what are some of the things that we're trying to address here today? So for the order dashboard, this thing moves forward. Yeah. So what we noticed was that real-time visibility is the difference between control and chaos. When you can't see what's happening across your fulfillment network in real time, the small delays can become big problems and orders slip through the cracks and you're one step behind all the time. Orders get allocated blind because nobody has the full picture of who is under pressure and who has room. Priority orders get lost in a queue, sitting behind everything else with nowhere to kind of see them. And SLA breaches are found too late when the customer is already affected. We also noticed that some locations can be quite under pressure while others are sitting idle with capacity to spare. So there's no kind of visibility across locations either. And so by this point, your team is reacting and not managing. They're chasing problems that visibility would have caught hours earlier. And the main thing is you can't promise what you can't see. When the network runs on chaos, the commitments you make to customers are the first thing to break. And that was probably the driving factor behind this, because we had something from one of our clients who mentioned that, hey, they would like to offer click and collect or same day delivery. But currently the visibility is not there, so they won't be able to kind of control or keep track of these orders to make sure that they can fulfill these in time. So how do we categorize these issues? So again, no single view. So staff couldn't tell if a top priority order was even in the queue, and finding it meant you had to run quite a few reports. Late discovery, SLA breach, only surfaced after orders were already at risk, by which time, if a report flagged it, the clock had already nearly run out. So there wasn't enough time to kind of get ahead of it before it became a problem. Workload imbalances, resources being allocated without knowing what was already in queue. So noticed at some customers' locations, people were just going, in the morning we come in and we just allocate everyone to go and do picking because that's what we do at the start of the day, without knowing what was already in the queue at the allocate or packing stage, where resources could have been utilized better to move things along before adding more stuff to the load. And manual status checks. So every status update, manual check, teams were jumping between screens and rerunning report instead of actually working on the orders. So the result of it was a lot of wasted labor, missed SLAs, and no single source of truth. So what do we do to kind of get in front of all of those particular issues? So what we decided to do was create a focus tool that surfaces order progress and guides team to manage fulfillment efficiently. So basically real-time visibility into every order in the pick and pack process across every dispatch location. So for those that are managing per location, they could see it. But for those that are kind of doing it from a head office kind of overall view, they could see between those locations as well. So first of all, you can monitor and see the real-time status of every order across all dispatch locations. You're able to then identify and spot those orders falling behind and getting onto them before they become aged or stuck, and then actually being able to act on that particular issue itself. So enough of me talking about it. Let's just get on to showing you guys exactly where that is. So as previously, this is our demo ecom environment. For those on VRA customers, it'll be very similar to this, but with obviously different brand colors, and where the dashboard is found under process and dispatch orders might be called something slightly different, but those working in this area know how to get to it. So it is the page that shows you the pick, allocate, but the first thing that comes up is the dashboard. Now already I've got it selected to the Christchurch dispatch location, and at a glance I can already tell, you know, that there's 6 click and collect orders, 96 delivery. If I'm concerned about priority orders, I can already see there's priority 9 priority 1 orders in the queue, and so with the subsequent priorities. So at a glance, I've already got a good idea of exactly what is at this dispatch location and what needs to be worked on. But furthermore, if I wanted to just concentrate on, okay, where are my priority 1 orders at this moment in time and how are they doing? So if I click on it, the whole screen kind of filters to just show those orders. The graph on the right is filtered to just show those 9 orders and where they are in that pick and pack process. And the orders table down below is only filtered to show those 9 orders as well. So you can actually go into here and actually have a look at those orders itself. So what does this tell us? So 9 orders, 6 in consign, 3 in the ship stage, based on our current SLA colors. So under 4 hours is green, over 4 hours orange, over a day is red. These are set up based on calculations, and we can always update these to kind of more accurately reflect how you guys deal with it. So at this point, you can actually go, okay, what are the 6 in consign? Here are those particular orders. You can actually then go to the consign page and you go, oh, there are some stuck orders in here because address issues. So you can go to that particular order, fix that issue and resend that to kind of get that order moving. Or if there were things in, let's say, the ship, you go into the ship ones and you can see exactly where they are. You can go to the ship tab and address those orders there. The other thing you can do at this point is if you're kind of managing the store and you're the fulfillment manager of a particular store or a location, you can actually then see that, hey, we've got a few things in pick, but a lot of stuff in the allocate. So rather than allocating your resources to go, hey, why don't you guys go out and pick more? You know that there's a backlog in the allocate, and that's where you need to put your staff to kind of get rid of that backlog and get it moving. You'll also notice, you know, where the breaches are about to happen. So if there are things that are turning orange, you're like, okay, I need to get onto those and get them moving along before they turn red. So there's a lot of visibility that you get from this one particular view. And as you can see, we're not having to run through reports or queues to resolve these. They're already there waiting for you. And yeah, it basically gives you a really good way of looking across the whole thing and being able to efficiently deal with these without having to go and spend too much time looking into things separately. So having seen that, go back to here. What are some of the benefits? So as we talked about, operational control. So real-time status of every order across all dispatch locations from one screen. So that visibility prevents delays into escalating into customer issues. Proactive management. You can spot the orders behind before they become stuck or aged and catch problems early instead of reacting to complaints. The other one, better resource and capacity aware allocation for those of you that are on pool-based routing, where you can see where you can actually pull the orders to process. You can actually have a look at your queue for that particular location and go, actually, we've got 100 orders in our pipeline at the moment that we need to process and get out. Let's not pull any more orders in here until we've gotten rid of those. And then the last thing, efficiency gains. So, no more checking things individually, no more jumping from screen to screen, no more having to run a lot of reports to kind of get an idea of where these orders are sitting. It's all there on the one screen ready for you. And the big thing from all of this, it's not only just that, but over time, what you will start to notice are patterns. And you will kind of see that, hey, for this dispatch location, we're always having issues with things in the allocate step or in the pack step. So you will notice patterns, and then you can put processes into place to fix these issues before they become a problem. So not only will you get, you'll empower your users to deal with issues as they come, but you'll notice where processes can be improved to prevent these from happening in the first place. So the next thing is what's next for Order Dashboard. So what we've got currently is live, and as I mentioned previously, we're not stopping just by doing that. We are going to keep engaging with you guys and see how we can make things a lot better, to keep improving the way you work and to keep giving you those efficiencies and advancements that really will help you day to day. So one of the things that we're looking at doing at the moment is the Order Dashboard UI update. Now, what you saw was what we have currently, and what I'm going to show you, I'll just switch to a live one that I've got. This is currently a prototype, so there's a few things on here, but what we are looking at doing is updating our UI across the eCom and the VRA platform, so it looks more something like this, where we've got kind of consistent colors, nicer looking controls and tables and so on. So you'll see the menu would have updated. Up here, you've got the dispatch point. We can show you how much is in the queue already for each one, so you can see at a glance rather than having to go into each one. We've got a total in here now with the total order value of what's happening across it. Everything still works as it does. The added benefit for this one is you can actually select multiple of them to kind of see where things are at for all of those at once, rather than having to deal with it one by one. Same with these, they still work as they were intended previously. We've got kind of better placement of the information that you can see for each order, and you can open pick list managers and stuff from here. Yeah, that's the new and improved Order Dashboard that we're looking at bringing in the future. So keep an eye out for those. But as always, once we finalize what this view needs to look like, we'll come to you guys to see if there's anything in here that doesn't work for you, or if you'd like to see anything extra that would be beneficial in terms of, let's just say you wanted more actions in here for each order to kind of get more information in this page rather than still having to go somewhere else. The next thing on here, couple of things that we're exploring now that we're looking at AI stuff. So AI assisted SLA breach warnings. We understand that these pages aren't something that you might have open all the time. So with our roadmap item of AI assisted next step recommendations, we will also do the AI assisted SLA breach warning. So you will get a warning around orders that are at risk of missing dispatch or delivery promises, and they'll be flagged while there's still time to act. So you'll be protecting that customer experience. Also, the predictive capacity alerts. So if over time, what we're hoping is the system will learn when you have big sales or big periods where there's more orders, or we'll bake something into it where it understands that. So it will basically let you know that, hey, you probably have to get on to clearing your queue because there are so many orders in there, because you will be getting an influx of orders that are probably going to get stuck if you don't deal with what's currently there. So yeah, in that way, we're hoping to improve it further. And as I mentioned at the start, what we build next will come from the conversations that we have with you. So if at any point you feel like there is something that you probably want added to these things, feel free to let us know, and we'll make sure that we take that into account while building the next features for these things. And so before I move into questions, I'd like to just alert you guys onto what's next. So the next webinar will be on pick and pack by order. And this is the new feature that lets staff fulfill single orders quickly from a single screen. So perfect for those urgent orders and for the smaller stores with the standard pick and pack process just doesn't fit. So join us on 30th of July to get a first look at that and seeing how it works and how we came to that solution and what problems we were trying to resolve. So yeah, really exciting. Can't wait to show you guys that one because that's been in the works for quite some time. And then with that, I'd like to open it up for questions. So yeah, feel free to fire away anything you guys want to know about. There is a chat function as well for Q&A if you guys wanted to use that. Or if there's nothing, then yep, thank you guys so much. Yep, so we do have a question around changing the priorities to make it express, etc. Yeah, you can definitely do that. So for each one that I showed, so basically on here, P1 Express, P2 same day, those priorities can definitely be changed. I've just got this as generic ones, but these can all be configured to be exactly what you need to. I think in some instances, I've seen up to 10 or 11 priorities with different names on it, and some places only have 3 or 4. But yes, these are all configurable to how you want to run your business, and they can be altered and changed for however you see fit. Excellent. Anything else that anyone wants to go over or wants me to kind of go over again? No? Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you taking the time and joining us today. Hopefully that was beneficial. And if you have any questions, like always, let us know after this or anytime. Just get in touch with our CS team or your account managers and we'll be in touch. Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good day. We'll catch you later. Bye.